Welcome to a new episode of A Snack and a Story with Miles. This is being recorded on, I believe, the 14th of March, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the 14th of March, 2019, and it will probably be up sometime in April. But this is another snack and a story, and as you can see, I have with me a couple of quesadillas, a couple of pretty sizable ones, with some sour cream and some of this sauce from the place that serves live chicken, El Pollo Loco. And today I kind of wanted to share a bit of a personal story, and also my nails are shorter because I trimmed them slightly. I guess out of anger I kind of did, whatever. But this is kind of a personal story I want to share. Several months ago, I saw on $10 Slimer's channel that they did a video, or more specifically the Goontick did a video centering around anything that he happened to eat that nearly killed him or some or other. And I think he was talking about a burrito or something. I have a story of a similar ilk, yet it has nothing whatever to do with Mexican food. It actually has something to do with my favorite food of all time, which is pizza. So, I shall get into it right about now. These are actually quite good. These are homemade. There's pork in them. So, there's a little known chain of pizzerias, well, not really pizzerias, just like pizza restaurants, called Selma's Chicago Style Pizza. There's one in Chicago, obviously, because that's from where it originated. And there was one in San Clemente. Now, I say was because, well, I'll get into that. But it was on the main drag of Del Mar, which is basically sort of like the Champs-Élysées in Paris, except it's in this little dead-end town. So, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of restaurants, boutiques, a lot of stuff where you could, a lot of places where you can spend a lot of money, that type of thing. Basically, a tourist trap. That's what it is. So, Selma's a station there, and this was back when I wanted to have pizza every Friday for dinner. It didn't matter from which place, so long as we had pizza. It had to be a requirement. I'm not that crazy anymore about it, and this story will probably get into probably be the reason why I'm not so crazy about it. But plus another reason, which you already know. If you've seen any of the Sweet Dreams Mia videos, you already know. Anyway, so we went to this place one Friday, and the pizzas there were kind of like a deep dish type of an affair, and they were very, very good. You know, we ordered a pepperoni and such, and I usually have like a whole pizza to myself. It's ridiculous, it really is. But I do, because I'm actually, in spite of, as I said, in spite of my frame, which I may appear to be quite small, certainly my arms, you know, ain't no meat on them bones. I actually do take in quite a lot, which is something extraordinary. But the pizzas they have there are really meant for 4 persons, even though they're like 8 slices or something. We had the pepperoni, which was really pretty good, I'd say. Very good. Although I don't really remember, because my memory of that place is tainted by what has happened to me and what I shall cover in this present story. So, my mum, she has a what is called little thrift shop, which basically their goal is to, it's a non-profit for the sake of providing persons on the autism spectrum with free therapy. I happen to be one myself, though it may not seem like it, but I am. And, you know, she's had it for about, what, 5-6 years, something like that. And in our formative years, specifically 2013 to 2014, we would have fundraisers for this, you know, like shop or business or whatever, you know, kind of bringing it about to other people, making them aware of it, and perhaps maybe having them support the cause. So, we would always, since we'd been to Selma's once and really enjoyed it, we'd always have the fundraisers at Selma's, because, you know, it was a fairly popular place, and, you know, it was good enough for us, so we decided to have them there. And we had a couple of fundraisers there, which were very, very successful. You know, we got a lot of people involved. They got their skin in the game and such, and, you know, they're very big supporters of us now. So that's that thing. If you look at that aspect, we did pretty well. So, I believe it was the second to last, or what you call it, fundraiser when this happened. We went there. I don't know if this was for a fundraiser. It might not have been for a fundraiser. It might have just been for when we went there on our own. Or, you know what? My memory's hazy. But it was either for a fundraiser or of our own volition. And I'm just now remembering the character of the manager there, who was very, I must say, welcoming of me, and, you know, I even got her phone number, which evidently was actually, upon dialing it, the phone number of the actual establishment. So, it's kind of pointless there in trying to pursue something with her. But, nonetheless, you know, she held me in very high regard and such, and served us, I believe. As I said, my memory is kind of hazy from this, but so I decided, you know, to get something a bit different, because usually I just have the pepperoni pizza and be on my way. So they had, I believe, two different types of pizzas. There was a standard pepperoni and the Chicago style. You've never had a Chicago style pizza before, at least from my experience, because I've only had Chicago style pizza from Selma's and will never have it again. It's basically your standard fare in terms of pizza. You know, it has the sauce and the cheese and all of that and seasoning. But in addition to that, it has an excess of marinara sauce on it. I mean, there's like heaps of it. It's, you know, it could be, there's enough in there, like maybe a jar's worth or 2 jars worth or something rather. Pardon me. And, you know, it was like a mile high and such. And I was like, you know, I was like, this sounds pretty good, because I actually like my pizza fairly saucy. So that was what I was going to order. And order it I did. And on trying it, I thought that it was wonderful. For the first few bites, and for the first 2 slices, because it was like a personal pizza. Right around maybe the 3rd or 4th slice, it started to kind of taste like I was eating nothing but tomato sauce. And really, I kind of sort of didn't want the rest of it, but because of the, I guess, the circumstance that I had eaten, you know, however much of it, it was just the momentum that kept me going forward, so I ate it anyway. And you know, didn't really, you know, I was left feeling okay about it. You know, I didn't really, the first 2 slices were amazing, but the last, like, what, I don't know, maybe, I can't remember, 2, 3, 4, I don't even remember how many slices there were kind of, you know, but a bit too much, a bit excessive. So, you know, we leave the place feeling rather contented and such, and you know, we pretty much do our own little thing in the evenings and such, sort of wind down and, you know, just go about our own business until we retire for the night. So retire we did, and retire I did, at about, I think, 10 o'clock at night. This was way before I started taking sleeping pills. This was way before really any of the stuff that really sort of kind of formed me into who I am. This is really before any of anything. It was like 13 or something, but come 3 in the morning, I wake up suddenly, and then I sort of get the feeling that all moisture leaves my mouth, and I cannot stop you know, just trying to get it back in there. I can't stop just, you know, manipulating my mouth and such because, you know, I'm trying to get the moisture back in. Then I realize that, you know, there's sort of like this sensation in the back of my throat. And then I see that, all right, I'm going to spew. So I ran to the bathroom, which was just across from my room, which is convenient. And I puked my guts out. Literally, it was this color. The color of this quesadilla. I know it's kind of gross, but and I did that for about, like, oh God, I want to say like 10-15 minutes I was spewing. It was not fun. It really wasn't. So, after all of that, we went back to Selma's, and I vowed never to eat their pizza ever again, be it Chicago style or not. So every time we went back there, I just had a turkey sandwich. Actually, 2 turkey sandwiches because, you know, they're kind of small, and I'm, you know, I have a big intake and such, and they were pretty good. Actually, some of the best I ever had. And you know, I kept on like that for quite some time, and I have not thrown up, done the Technicolor yawn, prayed to the porcelain god, shouted at my shoes, spewed, or puked, or barfed, or any of those idioms whatsoever since that time, and I'm very thankful for it. But that is something that's, I suppose, my near-death eat, as $10 Slimer called it. And here's actually a little funny addition to the story. Back when I was in this is a whole other story in itself. There's a whole other series of videos, most likely a novel that I'll write by itself. Back when I was in a school play, we had to do this thing called Q to Q, which is basically where you go through the whole entirety of the play. You perform a little bit, and then for like 10 to 15 minutes you have to hold still, and they take pictures of you, I suppose, for the programs. It's a really stupid process, and it's really not needed whatsoever, yet they do it just for the hell of it, and no other reason, I don't think. So and you would spend basically the whole of the day just doing that, the whole day, and you had to come in on a Saturday, because most of this, you know, rehearsal and such took place during the week after hours, but Saturday, you know, that's like a whole day. But I thought what a brilliant idea it would be that I would, you know, not be able to attend this. I could, you know, somehow be ill and, you know, get sick and such. I decided to go back to Selma's and order the Chicago-style pizza again. That was my idea, so that, you know, it would be hell, you know, because I'd be spewing my guts out, but, you know, at least I wouldn't have to go through all that tedious work. Nonetheless, Mum figured out what I was doing and quickly stopped me, and I had to go anyway, which is, you know, all right. It's all over now, but, you know, shortly after that, I then found out that Selma's actually closed down in San Clemente. It's no longer there for whatever reason. Probably because people kept spewing from the Chicago-style pizza. But it's no longer there. I'm thankful for it. And what's there now is probably like I don't know, a bistro or something. So, that's really about it. So that was another snack and a story with Miles. That was my near-death eat, as $10 Slimer calls it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more, and yeah, that's it really.